Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Bande Guru Param Ishvaro Guratmeti Muchi Veda Vibhagine Vyomabda Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sava Vedanta Sedanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satchiguru Pranatosh Maham Om. Namaste. So I'm at page 234. We are looking at the several theories of origination or creation. And after Gaudapada has exposed the fallacies of most of all theories, we came to the Vedas, in which the most fundamental theory is called Karma Karyavada. It's the theory that says the universe comes from karma. The law of karma is used to talk about the creation. Whenever we talk about origination, creation, we introduce the law of karma, the law of punya papa, from which Ishvara adjusts the universe, designing it collectively and personally for each individual to process their karma according to individuals' punya papa equation. Ishvara is going to design circumstance because it is a meritorious system. Merits and demerits are going to determine our life's conditions. Why? Because otherwise we would never be able to explain why there is so much diversity and difference, varieties of people suffering or enjoying on different degrees. Some people seem to be suffering so much that human jiva begins to contemplate that maybe there is no God who loves everyone. Otherwise, why so much suffering in this crazy world with so many wars and so on? We have established that Ishvara or Brahman to begin with, because in the beginning we say Brahman is the causeless cause of the universe. Brahman cannot create anything because Brahman is one without a second, and he has no access to any raw material to produce this cosmos. The next question is Brahman may use it, the power of Maya, and Ishvara. These two guys, Ishvara and Maya, they are somehow the power by which Brahman does produce the universe. And from the Prakriti of Maya then becomes the raw material from where the universe comes. Why can't you accept Ishvara as the creator of the world? Ishvara has Maya. Maya has the Prakriti. Prakriti is the raw material, so it's a good theory. So we should accept and be happy. And we have been happy for a while until we met Mr. Gaudapada, and then he pulls the carpet under our feet. So what is the difficulty in accepting this? Brahma Sutras elaborate this discussion. When you say that Ishvara is the creator of the world, a big question is raised. The question has to do with the creation is so diverse, with all kinds of jivas enjoying and suffering, and not only human jivas, but you have insect life, fish life, we have plants, animals of all kinds, mammals, and so on. So, and they even say the human beings is the best possible birth. And some human beings yet, although having the privilege of having a human birth, it is born to suffer illness and all kinds of adversities. People get different karmas, different circumstances of life. So why did Ishvara create this universe with such disparity of people and karmas and circumstances? How come some people have so many favorable circumstances and some other have unfavorable, painful, cruel circumstances? Why some jivas leave this body and go to some higher lokas, svarga lokas, and some goes to naraka lokas, go to hell, to burn some more papams? It's a question asked and discussed profoundly in Brahma Sutras. The answer given is Ishvara does not create according to any of his personal sympathy for this or that living being, but Ishvara is impartial, impersonal, and he just looks at the karma of each human being, even living creature. So the Punya Papas are going to determine and whether we're going to have good life or bad life. So therefore, creation explained starting from Brahman does not make any sense because Brahman does not have anything. It's only Ishvara who has access to the raw material. Raw material, again, is the Prakriti of Maya on which the other two energies emerge, Rajas and Tamas. Shvara being pura sattva, it says, oh my God, don't come to me with this talk that I am again non-dual, one without a second. And then he looks around and then say, oh my God, thanks God, this Maya has created something other than myself. I have Rajas and Tamas, and then I'm going to start playing with it. Shvara is fair and just. If there are differences in creation are due to the karmas of jivas. Ishvara is equanimous, samanyan, the equanimous cause. And the karma is vishesha karanam. Is the cause is specific. Every specific jiva is going to have some specific circumstance of life. Therefore, the karma is the specific quality or determination or factor determining this variety of jivas experience different circumstances. This theory is the one sustained by the Vedas and Vedanta until they pull it from us. The theory of creation's base is called Karma Karya Vada. Shvara serves more like a system, and the cause is the karma of every individual living creature. The body of each one of these jivas will depend on previous karmas. The next natural question is, how did karma come? Who gave Punya Papa and Papa Karma to the jiva? If Ishvara distribute the Punya Papa, Ishvara will be partial. So the question here, okay, but when did this Punya Papa begin? Oh no, Punya Papa is beginningless, and that was going to bring more complications. If say that creation comes from Punya Papa, so what came before Punya Papa? Who brought about Punya Papa? Who brought about karma? And I say, no, Jiva, and only Jiva has produced the Punya Papa, and then he presents the Punya Papa into the Dharma field, and then Ishvara is going to give the results. The results extends themselves to produce another birth. Another birth is going to be designed according to one's punya papa, the body mind sense complex, and the circumstance of life of that body mind. So how could then Jiva have been responsible for punya papa at the time of his birth when he was not even start doing action? If we say that the original punya papa is produced by the jiva itself, the first jiva, as if there was a first jiva, everybody came here and everybody was without any punya papa, okay? And then everything starts from zero. So, but then again, so what brought this universe? If jivas are the responsible by doing karma, so if in the beginning everybody was zero and nobody had any punya papa, so how could have the jiva be created to begin with if he has not done any karmas before and he arrives here without doing any karma? At the time of birth, when he was not even start doing any karma, the body in the previous birth must have produced punya papa. This karma theory, this is karma theory. Does karma, Shariran cycle begins, keeps going. So the point is, the karma of the jiva is going to produce the body, and the body is going to produce karma, you know, which the karma is going to produce another body. So this is samsara. You know, actions, results of actions, results of actions of punya papas. Punya papas are going to create new births with new body minds, with specific circumstances. It's an infinite cycle without beginning and without end. Gaudapada says that this theory of creation based on karma can be accepted temporarily. Based on the law of karma, we do karma yoga and upasana yoga. So if we accept that, and then we understanding that, we finally enough, we decide to begin behaving here. We don't understand why we are here, where we came from, but we understood that there is a connection between our actions and the results of our action. And then we introduced to this theory. And then we say, makes total sense. At least that's how I met it and I saw it. It makes total sense. I can testify that my actions produce results. Different actions produce different results. And whatsoever body, mind, and life circumstance I have today is fruit of my previous actions from previous births. Makes total sense. We should then accept this theory temporarily, though. Gaudapada says that when we come to Vedanta, we should start even questioning this theory. It's a Vedic theory, which is promoted by Vedanta in Karma Dharma Yoga, Upasana, in the Bhagavad Gita. He says that this theory of creation will also have several logical problems and fallacies. So this theory has to be rejected. The law of karma also cannot explain creation. Then how did the creation come about? The law of karma can never explain this creation. The idea of a cyclical creation does not make sense. So now, how did the creation come from? When? Then? How did the creation come? The answer is very simple. The only way to understand the creation is to understand that it never really came. It was never created. It was never originated. The only way to understand creation is understand it as a meteor creation, an apparent creation. Available for what? for experience and appearance. It appears and we cannot deny, and we experience it, we cannot deny. But when we look and examine some of our day-to-day experience of life, we experience several things which are not real, but they are appearances, such as the blue sky. I look to the sky every day, and then I see today is so it's so, today is gray. Oh no, it's blue. One can never talk about a chronological, linear, step-by-step process of creation. Even modern cosmologists are not able to explain creation. Gaudapada wished to show what the logic fallacies of this theory called karma, karya, vada. One should be circumspect about this point with people who are not exposed to Vedanta. Gaudapada suggests 6 possibilities for explaining this theory. And the first one of these 6 theories, just a second. Of these 6 theories, the first 4 are easy, simple to understand, to prove its fallacies. Simple explanation given for completeness, and the last 2 are the main ones, a little bit more difficult to understand. We'll see these 6 explanations from the verse 14 to the verse 23rd. The first one is karma is the cause. Karma is the original cause, mula karana, of the body. The body is an effect, which is representative of the entire created, the body of the universe. The cosmos is, on a macro level, is the result of the karmas of all jivas, and the body of the universe represents the total body of Maya or Shwara, or creation. So karma is the cause, the original cause of the body, and the universe is the macro body of this creation. Shahira is the mula karma. So one says karma is the original cause, and the other says that karira is the original cause of karma. Meaning to say, first God produced the body without any karma, and then the body began producing punya papas. Both karma and shahira originate simultaneously, like the 2 horns of a cow growing simultaneously. So this is the third theory that say, no, it's not possible. Karma did not come for, they came together simultaneously, boom, karma and shahira. So that is the third theory. The 4 is karma and shahira mutually cause and effect. So karma is the cause, the body is the effect, and then the body becomes a cause, and the karma produced by the body is the effect. So it means to say they are mutually exchangeable, cause and effect. So, and then the concept that a cause must be a cause and never an effect is destroyed. It is mutually cause and effect. So many times we hear, or even I say that there is no absolute cause and effect in this universe. Every cause becomes an effect, and then every effect becomes a cause, because everything is impacting and producing change into the field. So we say those things, and we have to remember that those theories, they stand. They are beautifully said, but they do not explain logically the possibility of a real creation, but only an apparent creation, a meteor creation. The number 5 is karma, and the body of the jivas are part of a long series. So it's not that one was karma and shahira mutually cause and effect, and but they a part of a long series. From karma, Shahira comes, from Shahira, karma comes. So it is a block, like a seed and the tree series. So these fifths, karma and Shahira mutually cause an effect. First, we see that karma and Shahira in the world, they appear simultaneously, okay? And then we say that they are not really a cause of one another, but they are mutually change. One calls the other calls the one, and so on. And then now we say that, no, it's not like that. They were created together as a block. Series goes to a block. It's not that one is exchangely cause and the other way around. No, they were created simultaneously, yes, as a block. Okay? Boom, bah. So the egg and the chicken, they were created at the same time as a block. Cause and effect. Cause and effect is a block. Karma, from karma, Shahira comes, from Shahira, karma comes, from karma, Shahira comes, and go on like the seeds. Karma Shahira series is a nadi. This brings even more intellectual complications. Because now we say, okay, so they appeared as a block together. There is no question of one being the cause or the effect of the other one. It appears to be so, but they were created like that, bloom. Okay, and they were created when? Outside the range of time, beginningless. And if this is beginningless, it must be what? Endless. Okay, because only something which is beginningless is endless, which will bring more complications and flaws in this understanding. These are the 6 possible options for Karma Vada to stand. Using these, can the creation be explained? A question. Gaudapada says that all these 6 ways of explaining the creation will end up with problems and contradictions and fallacies. The first option is that karma is the original cause of the universe. This is not correct because karma, punya and papa itself, can come only out of somebody, some sharira doing actions. So someone must be doing good and bad actions so that punya papa are produced. Therefore, karma cannot be the original cause. Okay, why? Because in order for me to do actions, I need a shahira, I need a body, right? How can I do actions? So, and then we cannot say that actions are the original cause because you need a body to do actions, to produce punya papa. Therefore, we remain in the same point as always. The body came first or the actions came first? Without the body, there is no action to produce punya papa. Even Bhagwan cannot create punya papa to generate bodies. Otherwise, he will be seen as partial and not an impartial system. The world cannot produce punya papa because the world is inert. So now, either the jivas produce punya papa or Ishwara. Ishwara is out of question because Ishwara has no interest, and it's not a doer, it's a yani, it is the source of knowledge. It's just produce the structure in which jivas, appearance jivas in the appearance material world can produce punya papas. The world cannot produce punya papa either. Why? Because the world is inert matter. And some living body is required for actions and punya papa to be produced. Karma cannot be the original cause because karma requires the body. And then the second Rosh, okay, and then the body is the original cause. First, Bhagwan gives every jiva a body freely meaning to say with no punya papa. And at that time, the body, everybody's karma is accounting to 0 punya papa. Thereafter, the karma, the actions account starts. The question here will be, what type of body is Bhagwan giving to all jivas if there is no Punya Papa to design these bodies with from? So if we look into those terms, and then everybody would be created as a cyborg. Everybody, in order to be created equal, you have to be some sort of, artificial being. So the question is, there will be, what kind of body Bhagwan will give to these jivas? In the absence of Punya Papa, Bhagwan cannot produce bodies to anyone because the very body is based on Punya Papa. So the body cannot be original cause because the body itself requires a cause. What is the cause? The third option is that karma and Shahira came up, emerged simultaneously. This is not valid as well because if they originate simultaneously, they cannot have cause and effect relationship. When they say that, no, they just emerge together simultaneously, pa. And one is the cause and one is the effect. We are still discussing which one is the real cause and so on, but they appear together. It's impossible because if they appear together simultaneous, they can never have a cause and effect relationship because they have caused, they appear together. You understand? And then the body could never be said to be the cause of Punya Papa, of karma, and neither karma to be the cause of the body. Why? Because they were created together without any Punya Papa to produce it. They can never be having any cause and effect. And then the idea that one is a cause and the other effect, and the effect becomes a cause, all of that falls. Why? Because this theory does not stand. The same way twin brothers and sisters can never be the cause of one another. If we accept that karma and the body have cause-effect relationship, their simultaneous origination is destroyed, not viable. The fourth option is that karma comes from the body and the body comes from karma. Why can this pair of karma and Shahira be mutually cause and effect? For that, Gaudapada says that it's never possible between two things to be both cause and effect. It's for one thing is the cause, the other must be the effect. They cannot reverse their roles. Never. You cannot never observe it in the creation. Gaudapada says, he gives an example. If Rama is born of Dasharata, Dasharata cannot be born of Rama. Simple explanation. So Dasharata has been the cause of Rama, but Rama can never be the cause of his father. The fourth option is like saying that the father is born out of the son. No, I was never born out of my son. Other children are going to be born out of my son, but the father is never going to be born out of his or her son. Karma and Shahira cannot be mutually cause and effect. One is the cause, period, and the other is the effect. Thus, the first four options were negated. The last two options will be looking at more carefully. And then he says, we're going to do it in the next class. I'm not going to repeat everything here in the introduction. At the bottom of page 237, there are logical fallacies in the Karma Kariyavada, which is the main theory of the Vedas and the Vedanta. is the top at certain up to a certain stage. Is the top of this verse 14 to the 23rd. Gaudapada suggests 6 different formulations in Karma, Kriya, Karyavada, and shows what we have just seen, the four initial ones. Karma is the Mula Karana, the first cause of creation. It cannot be so, because karma can itself come into existence only if there is a body producing actions. Ishvara cannot produce karma because Ishvara is a karta, a bhokta, and Ishvara is yani, for anybody not knowing about that. The second formulation is a body, is that the body has created karma. This is refuted as well because bodies cannot do anything, because bodies must have been created by previous karmas. Therefore, we can see a variety of bodies, designed uniquely according to previous karmas. So we can never say that the body is the original cause. It is one of the most easy to dismiss. This formulation is that karma and the body were produced simultaneously. But if that's the case, they have no relationship such as cause and effect because they were created together. It's not that one caused the other and the other caused the one. They were simultaneously created, born. There's no question of cause and effect. The fourth formulation is that Karma produced the body and Shahira produced Karma. Gaudapada says that it will be like saying that father produced the child and child has to produce the father as well. It's never possible. If the two things have a cause and effect relationship, they can never be both cause and effect, and they can never be reversed. If a particular seed is the cause of a tree, that seed will always be the cause of that tree, and that tree will never be the cause of that particular seed. Therefore, mutual cause and effect relationship between the body and the actions of the body is to be refuted. The fifth and the sixth formulations are more serious and need to be understood more carefully. The fifth formulation says that Sharira has come out of Karma. Karma has come out of its previous Shahiran and not some other Shahiran. So the fifth one says what? The body has come out of Karma. Karma has come out of its previous body and not some other body. The previous body came out of the previous karma. Its previous karma came out of its previous body. Thus, you have this infinite regression. How many bodies before, how many sets of punya papas were there before I appeared here in this world? So karma 2, karma 1, karma 3 produce the bodies, etc. So similar to our parents producing us, they are produced by the parents. There is no fallacy of the mutual cause and effect relationship. There is no fallacy of the mutual cause and effect relationship. Therefore, Karma Sharira series is the creation. So it's conclusion at this level, the fifth one. Okay. The fifth one says that it is a block. It is a block. They have no relationship of cause and effect. It is a block, body and actions of the body that were created simultaneously. Gaudapada says that this formulation as well is not valid because if there is a block that was created together, you would have to go through endless series without beginning. The series will have infinite regress with no finality. The final answer cannot be given because every answer leads to more questions. This is the infinite regress fallacy. Have you ever thought who has been the first seed of your genealogical, right? You say tree. Who was the first seed? Where we come from? There are some people has an obsession to dig into the past to see how many generations they can go back. So it's infinite. And not to mention that even before the Big Bang, before the universe appeared, emerged, everything was yet there in potential according to the cyclical theory of creation. So we are talking here on the micro level that there is the body produce actions, but universe, the previous universe produced this universe. And then what produced the previous universe? The previous universe. And then again, we go into the macro regression of what was the original universe. There is no Mula Karanam for this universe. There is no Mula Karanam for the beginning or origination of the original Jiva, the so-called eternal Jiva, the so-called eternal Ishvara, eternal Jagata, is a concept that does not stand the scrutiny of logic. How did a particular tree come can be answered, but what is the fundamental original cause is the conundrum of any vision, any theory. In this fifth formulation, the original cause cannot be determined. The sixth formulation says that the question of the original cause itself is wrong because the series is anadi. So the block that this sixth formulation says, that karma and the bodies who produce the karmas, they were created equally, okay? The macrocosm karma of the universe and the universe, they were created simultaneously. This question is wrong because it says that when it began, no, it never began, it's beginningless. So from the micro, the karma shahira series without a beginning, and when the series does not have a beginning, how can the question of what is the beginning be asked? So it says here that this block, this series that was created, boom, the actions and the body were created equally at the same time, simultaneously. When a series does not have a beginning, how can there be a question of what is the beginning? What is the beginning be asked? According to Vedic theory, creation is anadi, karma, shahira, block, beginningless block or series, or a set of karma and bodies. Karma and bodies, karma and bodies, karma and bodies, a block, boom, it was created equally. This block, this set of karma sharira, which is beginningless according to this theory of creation. What is wrong with this theory? Gaudapada says that it is fine up to a particular stage during karma yoga. And Vipassana yoga, we accept the concept of beginningless creates the universe, a beginningless jiva. When you probe into it in the Upanishadic Jnana Yoga stage, this theory is not satisfactory because there are logical fallacies. There are two main fallacies that will be discussed here. The two fallacies will be talked about. Gaudapada asked the question, when you talk about a set block of beginningless karma and bodies, karma embodies in the micro and in the macro. When you talk about a beginningless karma shahira block, what does it mean? It means the beginningless karma shahira block. So it was produced, create, originate together. Vedanta says that anything that is beginningless to begin with is an adjective. No? Anything that is beginningless, no? It requires, beginningless is an adjective. So the question here is a grammatical kind of flaw presented by this theory. It says that this beginningless, which is a quality, or adjective, it refers to is karma. Karma is beginningless. The body is beginningless, or it's the set, the series, the block. Karma shahira is beginningless, because when we say that karma shahira is anadi, we know this anadi, this beginningless means goes for karma. Karma is beginningless. Shahira is beginningless, or it is the set is beginningless. The set, body and karma, they will create, not create because they are beginningless. Anything which is beginningless, it is something that's not subject to time. Vedanta says that beginningless is an adjective. It must go to one of these three factors. It is an anad karma, beginningless karma, beginningless shahira, or beginningless set or series or block of these two principles that we create together. Which one of these three is beginningless? You cannot say that it's beginningless karma, because karma is never beginningless, because every karma requires a body to do karma. You cannot say that karma, Anaji Shahira is not acceptable because every Shahira is caused by the previous karma. So you cannot say that the body is beginningless because it requires a karma, and the karma itself is not beginningless because it requires a body to produce that karma. Therefore, Naji has to go with the block, the set of the two together. Okay, then, okay, what is an Naji? It's not the body or the karma produced by the body, it's the set is a Naji beginningless. According to Vedanta, the word block, set, series is only a concept, of course. There is no such a thing called set or block or series other than the individual members. Fruit salad is said to be fruit salad, but there is no such a thing as fruit salad. There are just fruits in there. It's a good analogy. It's a construct, intellectual construct, which has no substance in itself. Therefore, this analogy could never go to something which is unsubstantial, such as a concept. You understand? It must go either to the body or to the karma. Therefore, analogy, karma, shahira, block, series, or set is not even grammatically correct, possible. Grammatically, this is the fallacy number one. The next fallacy is a little bit more sophisticated and more philosophical, but more in the lines of self-inquiry. Gaudapada argues that karma, shahira, block, or series, or set is an ad. There is no chance for moksha if this set, this body that produce actions, these actions that produce further bodies down the line, this block, this series, okay, is an ad. If that is an ad, means to say it is beginningless, there is no chance for moksha at all. This is called anir moksha prasanga dosa. Why? Gaudapada talks about that in the verse 30. but we have to mention it in here. In karma, Shahira's block or series or set is without a beginning. Whatever is beginningless is also endless. Ananta goes to endless. Ananda is limitlessness. So we say the Brahman or consciousness is Ananta because it is endless. There is no place or time in which it ends and something else begins. Whatever is Anaji must be endless. Beginningless must be endless, because beginningless means to say it's something outside the concept of time, and end means something within the concept of time. Therefore, if the karma shahira set, block, or series is without beginning, it is without end, and if it's without end, there is no possibility for moksha. The scriptures say that the researcher saying is self-knowledge and moksha, which is the end of this cycle called samsara. Brahman is anadi, and it is endless also. What cannot be created cannot be destroyed also. If we say that karma karya set was created, is beginningless, it means to say that it's endless. There is no chance for moksha at all. Why? Because the karma cycle never ends, because we determined that this karma shahira set was created, it was never really initiate, originate, and something that is not create, originate will never end. And then meaning to say that samsara, the actions and results of actions that produce punya papa, which brings about another body, which is going to do more karma, which is good. This endless cycle is going to be endless as well, because anything which is beginningless is endless, meaning to say there is no end to samsara, there is no end for rebirth, no chance of moksha. Suppose it's argued that karma shahira series is beginningless, but it has an end for a particular cause by doing spiritual sadhana. And then we're going to have the end of this series one day. And then the scriptures say, yes, it can be destroyed, samsara. This beginningless ignorance can be destroyed with self-knowledge, and that is moksha. This has fallacies as well, and we will see more clearly explained here. Anaji, it has to end in a particular cause by doing spiritual sadhana. So, okay, it's beginningless. It was originate like that. They came like a block of the body and the actions, okay? And it is without beginning, but it has an end for the individual soul only by self-knowledge, and that's called moksha. Gaudapada says that this argument also has a problem. Suppose that the anadi, karma, shahira, set, beginningless, ends one day, and that will mark the end of samsara for a certain specific individual. When the samsara ends, that end of samsara will mark the beginning of moksha. Yeah? How many people, how many of us thought or still think about in those terms? Yeah. When samsara ends, there will be the beginning of moksha. I got moksha. Oh, you got moksha like you. Gaudapada says that whatever begins in time will have to end in time. If moksha is an event in time, that Ramji used to say very, very often, that it's not an event in time. If the moksha is an event in time, it begins by doing sadhana. And then samsara ends, it will end on some later day. Then samsara will begin. So it means to say that anything that begins in time will end in time, and this moksha that begins in time will end in time. Okay? Then samsara will begin again. Thus, there will be a series of samsara, and then ending moksha, and then beginning moksha, ending a new, and beginning a new samsara. So this cycle will be there forever, because anything that can be destroyed, such as samsara, you know, the initial impossibility is that if samsara, which is this eternal cycle, which is beginningless, in which Shahira and actions came together as a set, this can never be ended as the scriptures promise. Why? Because something that's beginningless will never end. And if by any chance you say, no, there is an exception, it ends only for specific individuals. And then it says, if anything that ends, it ends in time. And if it ends in time, it exists in time. And if it exists in time, no, it will be lost in time. And this moksha would be lost in time as well. So then this would be redefined as a temporary moksha, temporary samsara, temporary moksha. Temporary moksha is not any good as a moksha if this moksha is within time and must end. The Anadi Kama Sharira series has the fallacy that no moksha is possible. How can Veda prescribe a creation, origination, in which moksha itself is not possible? Veda will never talk about end of samsara and beginning of moksha. The Veda, in reality, the Vedanta will never talk about end of samsara and beginning of moksha. It may appear that it's suggesting that because there are fallacies, there are holes in these theories, but the Vedanta use those theories and arguments and logics to bring us to a more level or stage of maturity in which we can accept that there is no way we can prove reality to this universe. No, attribute reality. What is moksha then? Moksha is the very nature of everyone and everything. Moksha means to say what? Limitlessness. Limitlessness is our intrinsic nature. What we are is anadi. Indeed, was never created. It's outside the range of time. And it will never die because it is outside of time. If I get this within time, it cannot be real limitlessness. Limitlessness can only be the substratum of the entire apparent universe, and that is my own substratum, my own nature. My own nature is ananta, is limitless. Okay? What is moksha is the understanding that it's only understand that creation is not present in all three periods of time, past, present, and future. There is no creation. Origination of the world has to be clearly understood, to be a compromise, necessary compromise, not to freak out all human beings once they receive this communication, say, this world does not exist. And there are a lot of people confused out there propagating these final declarations without understanding the implications of, those propagations, and without being really benefited by that. Therefore, creation must be negated. The existence of the world is to be negated. Appearance and the appearance has to be accepted, and the experience of it must be accepted. It's all due to the power of Maya that produced this ignorance in respect to the substratum or the real nature of this projection. Once I understand that this world is mithya, I can claim that I have been mukta all the time. I have been limitless, free, independent consciousness. My nature is freedom. My nature is limitlessness. My nature is moksha. Moksha is my very nature. Therefore, the idea that I can gain moksha within time is also another adyaropa that later on is going to be retracted. I'm now working for moksha, and then what we are doing all this inquiry for? If I work for moksha and moksha comes one day, that moksha will go. Moksha is not an event or an experience in time. If it is in time, it's subject to time, there will be an end to this moksha. That moksha will go. I should understand that aham satyam nitya mukta and the world is an appearance and will never affect my nature as Sachitananda, limitlessness. Moksha is my very nature. I have never been body-mind suffering from samsara. My true nature is limitless existence, consciousness. This is Gaudapada's Jativata theory of no creation, no origination. And he explains basically that which all Upanishad taught and they're calling this universe a mithya universe or an apparent universe, a seeming universe. He explains in detail why most of all Upanishads refer it as a seeming creation. This topic is being concluded in the 23rd verse. The conclusion, karma also is an appearance. The body also is an appearance. This appearance is a projection done by the power of Maya Shakti, Maya Shakti. The appearance in me, the consciousness, and this consciousness I do not have to get, and that Sakshi, I do not have. This this consciousness does not need to be free because freedom is the very nature of what I am. I only have to understand that I am. I have been and ever will be of moksha or mukta nature. Giving reality to this apparent mithya world is the problem. Attributing reality again and again, getting serious about something which is such as a mirage is the problem. Getting all excited about the events of this world is the problem. Lord Krishna was there with Arjuna in the middle of the battlefield in circumstances which were horrible for any living being. Yeah? And he was trying to tell Arjuna, take it easy, don't take it seriously. This is not real, but yet do your dharma. With this, refutation of the Vedic theory is over. Later, Gaudapada will discuss one more point here. If Vedic theory of creation is not a fact, why did Veda compromise with the fact and talk about this creation for so long? The answer is, it is a deliberate compromise because a person cannot accept the idea of no creation in the beginning of this Vedic process of spiritual purification. Initially, we are all sure that there is a world, and we are attracted to the scriptures that talk about a world. We want to know how this world came about. Vedanta accepts those theories and takes us gradually but surely outside of samsara, which was never there to begin with, but in our minds. Initially, if the scripture says that there is no samsara, there is no world, while we are feeling that there is a world, we experience the world, we will do what? We will reject this scripture. Of course. We'll say, oh, these guys are crazy. So let's reject the scripture, let's reject the guru. Vedanta employs the method Adyaropa Apavada. It accepts that there is no problem. There is a problem of samsara. The word is just a word by which our karmas, our actions will produce punya papa, and this punya papa will bind us to future births, the samsara. The real concept, the theory of samsara and on the macro level is to be bound by in the world through infinite births and rebirths and rebirths and rebirths. Okay. For some reason, James did not like this. I may have some ideas why he did not like this. But this is the tradition. This is the true sense of samsara, cycle of infinite births, lives, old age, death, and rebirth. So in the beginning, we accept this problem. And we develop all these karma theories to explain the actual births and the way things work within this apparent reality. The theory to explain it, and then explain later that there is no problem in all these 3 periods of times. There is no problem. There is no really samsara there. However, within the appearance, karma theory has incredible relevance. The theory of reincarnation has incredible relevance. But it's not the absolute reality. With this, all theories of creation have been refused. Good day. It's time we get over about that, except that we live within apparent projection. But there is something real about us, don't you think, Mark?
It certainly feels real sometimes more than others.
That there is something real about your human experience?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are that reality. You are limitless Ananda consciousness, Sachitananda, existence consciousness of limitless moksha nature. That's what it is. The purpose of this projection is to allow us the opportunity to understand that there is no projection, real projection, but there is the screen of consciousness on which this projection takes place, or this projection reflects or shines as the world. Okay? Anything from you guys? I hope everybody's happy now that we discovered more in details that there is no world.
I don't think I've ever heard anywhere else in my limited exposure to the Upanishads. This is really the pinnacle of the understanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something.
Very beautiful.
And I wonder if there's anybody else, I mean, other than Gaudapada that did this.
Yeah.
Did Shankara ever do that?
Well, there are some further ahead in this text, Gaudapada will show that he's not really a pioneer, that there are some other Upanishads that says what he says.
I was
But
wondering if Brahma Sutras do this.
no, even Upanishads. It's just,
Yeah.
he says that the reason we don't get to that, because that comes to the very end, and you have to go through the entire teaching to come to that final declarations, you understand? That,
Of course.
you know, and he's going to give some quotes of Upanishad that are saying the same thing.
Good.
Okay?
Good.
There's nothing new under the sun, as we say. Okie dokie. So today is Tuesday. We meet this coming Friday back with Gita. Did you watch the class of Gita yesterday?
Not yet. It's on the to-do list.
Great. And then we catch up with small Gita next Friday. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om. Namaste. Till next Friday.
Thank you, Orlando.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Arlinda.
Thank you.
Bye now.